Is it best to only invest in the U.S.? Here with Common Sense is Craig Bolanos, the co-founder and wealth manager at VestGen. Always good to see you, Craig. What do you think?
Well, Angela, I feel like a school kid and we're about to do a geography lesson. And what I mean by that is all of us, far too many people all around the globe have a home bias. It's only natural to invest a disproportionate amount of one's capital in stocks of your particular country. But I think I'm compelled to remind everybody that there's a changing tide. There's been a changing tide at hand for some time. And with a new cycle means new characteristics. And for that reason, Angela, I want to talk today about how to increase your geography by getting diversified outside of just the United States.
What's your suggestion? How is investing in other countries doing this year?
Well, I think there's a coming wave. Let's understand what's happened here. Ever since Q4 of 2022, that's October of 2022, you've seen things like EFI, Europe and Far East, on nothing short of a tear in dollar-denominated terms. And I think it's important for people to understand that what used to be yesterday's laggards oftentimes rise to be tomorrow's leader. And that's, I think, the evolution that's at hand. And don't get me wrong, Angela, the U.S. economy is still fantastic. The U.S. dollar is still the world's currency reserve. But at the bottom line is, I think people really need to start increasing their exposure to both European markets, those developed markets, and emerging markets if they want to stay ahead of the game for several years to come.
Is it too late, though, to get into some of those overseas stocks that have already had this big rally?
No, that's the big thing. I mean, Angela, we talk all the time about secular. Identify long-term secular trends, throw yourself in front of that trend and hang on for the ride. And I think a lot of people know that, going all the way back to the spring of 2010, all the way through the fall of 2022, that's almost a 12-year period of time. U.S. investors were well received to be focused on U.S. specific portfolios. But if this trend continues, which has already been in the making for some time, it is definitively not too late. And one of the reasons I tell people in particular it's not too late is, Angela, a lot of money gets invested through the platform of mutual funds and exchange traded funds. And once those mutual funds and exchange traded funds hit their 3-year number, which will come up in the fall of 2025, I think there's going to be a lot more awareness as to the power of international investments for U.S. investors. And that means there might be a tidal wave of money that starts flowing internationally. And for that reason, I encourage people now with a dose of pragmatic optimism to start getting more of their portfolio outside of the United States.
Any final thoughts on overseas investing trends?
Well, Angela, I think one of the big trends that emerged this year, and it's because of trade, it's because of a new world order, is the U.S. dollar. I think most people have heard or most people have read now that the U.S. dollar is starting to revert back to the norm. Again, the U.S. dollar will remain the world's reserve currency, but the U.S. dollar is not as strong as it once was. And that weakening dollar is going to further magnify the profits for U.S. investors who invest abroad. And for all those reasons that we talked about, the changing tide, it's not too late, the coming wave and currency, I think that's why everybody should use a geography lesson in the second half of the year and seek to get more international. I want you to connect with us. Go out online to getretiredstayretired.com. That's getretiredstayretired.com.